William Kumwembe with Business Time. It is a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making lines in the country. And coming up in the program today, we look at strides towards addressing bottlenecks on cross-border trade. And also in the program, MRA moves to curb illicit trade as it announces tax stamps. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome in our main story program today. Cross-border traders has singled out disunity among civil and public servants as one of the factors affecting small-scale business in the country. President for the traders, Steve Yohane, said this when the Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, MCCCI, and Ministries of Trade and Agriculture engaged cross-border traders on issues that affect them on Friday in Zomba. Yohane says the proliferation of roadblocks erected by officials from the government and various agents and the government ministries continues to affect them. We have the whole story in the report.
At the meeting, one of the issues that featured prominently was that of non-tariff barriers that cross-border traders face in the country. According to the United Kingdom's Institute for Government, a non-tariff barrier is any measure other than a customs tariff that acts as a barrier to international trade. The Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry organized the activity using funds from Growing Africa's Agriculture. Participants were drawn from Cross-Border Traders Association, Ministries of Trade, Transport and Agriculture, the Malawi Revenue Authority, Malawi Bureau of Standards, the Department of Immigration and Citizenship Services, the Malawi Police Service, and others. On her part, Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry Chief Executive Officer Daisy Kambalame said they have taken note of the concerns raised by cross-border traders.
The partnership is actually a consortium with Ministry of Trade and Ministry of Agriculture to look at strengthening food trade across the borders. So looking at ensuring that there's transparency in all the regulatory frameworks so that at least all the people that are involved in cross-border trading understand what the regulations are and are also able to raise any issues, especially where non-tariff barriers are concerned. So what we've done, if you actually look at the people that we've brought together today, the organizations that we've brought together today, they involve Malawi Revenue Authority, Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Agriculture, the cross-border traders themselves, we have the Malawi Police, we have Immigration. So all these departments actually are part of the facilitators for trade. So what we're also seeing is that if people have different understanding of what the rules are, application can also be different. So what we're trying to now see is how do we emerge and bring all the information that people need to understand together. And also we have Malawi Bureau of Standards, because to be able to facilitate trade, you really need to understand the basic standards that are there. Now, if someone's processing your document, sometimes people can be asking for documents that are not even necessary because they don't know. So the idea of bringing everyone together at the same table is to create that environment where there's transparency and we all have similar understanding and there's clarity, especially for the traders themselves, so that even if someone wants to extort or someone's giving them false information, they're actually empowered and are able to also raise issues on the portal, and we can raise the same with Ministry of Trade so that they can also deal with their counterparts in other countries.
Meanwhile, Director of Administration in the Ministry of Industry and Trade, Spiwe Msisia, has described cross-border traders as key to economic development.
Yeah, the Ministry of Trade and Industry engaged the cross-border in an organization that they do face a lot of challenges in terms of their trading trade. So we have to engage different stakeholders, the police, immigration, MRA, and as Ministry of Trade, for them to trade, especially the cross-border. So they raised a number of issues Most of the issues are issues to do with the import and export in terms of license, how they get to import, and also the delays that they meet from immigration, our colleagues in immigration, issues that sometimes they meet from Malawi police, and also issues that they meet from Malawi Bureau of Standards. So this was a very important engagement, simply because for us, and also Malawi Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
The Malawi Revenue Authority, MRA, has launched an extended excise tax stamps regime to fast-track tracking and tracing of excise tax payments in the country. The initiative is aimed at bringing smuggling, illicit trade, and guarding local manufacturers while protecting consumers in the country. Speaking during a press briefing in Blantyre Friday, MRA Deputy Commissioner General Henry Ngwata expressed optimism that the regime has potential to help combat illicit activities.
Today's initiative is really important for this country. It also demonstrates the ambition that MRA has as a revenue mobilization agency of the Malawi government. What we are saying is tax stamps are fiscal marks that are fixed on targeted excise of goods. And the underlying policy behind that is to protect the general public from consuming dangerous and hazardous products that can harm their health and and create a lot of bills in terms of health and medical care. But also within the context of protecting our local manufacturing, through tax stamps we'll be able to counter smuggling, goods that enter Malawi through uncharted routes without paying proper duties and taxes, and with tax stamps we'll be able to track and trace such products and try and take them out of the market. But also for local manufacturers, tax stamps will result in a situation where they make honest and true declarations of their productions, and this will have an effect on the revenues that they declare in their tax returns, and also help government mobilize more revenues in the process. So that's the broader overview of today's event. It's really unfortunate because well-meaning Malawians have to be given the correct information on this, and we have shared with you the gazetted prices for each tax stamp, which should put the responsibility on all of us, including you media houses, to relay the correct information to the public. And where manufacturers want to take advantage of the tax stamps and unnecessarily hike their prices, we should call them out. You guys should call them out and tell them, no, this is not because of tax stamps. Give us a true reason for this price hike. Call them out. You have the duty and responsibility to help protect the public from extortionary pricing. Tax stamps have been applying on tobacco and cigarettes from way back 2006 or thereabouts. So it's not a project or an initiative that is new, as it were. We are just extending it to other products, as we've mentioned to you, targeted excisable products. And in this regard, what we are saying is from the 1st of May, that's when we are essentially announcing that this has been rolled out. But you will recall that the regulations, the law was amended in 2021 to apply for the framework that we're discussing today. And between that, since then, between that time and now, what we've been doing is to really engage stakeholders, devising the platform and systems, and putting in place structures for the extension of tax stamps.
Remember, this is Business Time, a program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. My name is William Kumwembe. Be right back. Central banks in the common market for East and Southern Africa COMESA member states are moving towards facilitating trading for regional businesses using local currencies. The regional body is rolling out a project at linking systems of the central banks with commercial banks, where private sector players will be required to make payments using currencies of their countries. In an interview, COMESA Business Council Chief Operating Officer responsible for the Financial Inclusion Program, Jonathan Pinford, said the project is expected to commence in July. He explains.
Okay, so exactly what we're doing is we want to integrate all the commercial banks and the non-banks, like for instance mobile network operators, even other fintechs, into one platform. So exactly our plan is to make sure that when it comes to traders, even the customers that they deal with, they should be able to send money from one country to another. Let's say maybe I want to send money from Malawi to Zambia. Today, if I have to send money from Malawi to Zambia, there are so many challenges. Number one, it's not affordable. The cost of transaction is very high, but also the issues like, for instance, when it comes to settlement, it may take maybe even 3 days for the other recipient to get money. So with this initiative, we want to make sure that once money is sent immediately, the recipient has to receive the money. Number one. Number two, when it comes to even affordability, it's very cheap. So we are looking at essentially $1 per transaction, regardless, almost $1 regardless of the amount being transacted, as long as it's a trader doing that initiative. But also the other most important thing is to do with Forex. So even here in Malawi, we currently have Forex challenges. So when it comes to payments across the COMESA region, they'll be done using local currency. If you are paying maybe to some recipient outside COMESA, of course you have to go with the dollar. So that's also another big challenge that we are trying to solve in as far as the payment platform is concerned. Over and above that, we'll connect it to an e-commerce platform. We'll have an e-commerce platform whereby if traders want to check, even not only traders, even individuals, they want maybe to buy some products, let's say in another country, maybe Zambia or Uganda, they can check what sort of information, where to buy that product, but also even at what price. So by doing so, we are making sure that there is adequate market information. At the same time, also when it comes to most of the SMEs, they don't have maybe enough money to host a website, so they can also put that platform for free on that COMESA e-commerce platform.
Let's talk about the dollarization aspect of it. How is it going to work, considering that these currencies have different values? How exactly is the dollarization going to work?
Yeah, so I think that's a very good question indeed. They have got different values, but also we are talking of issues on balance of payments. They're usually different from one country to another. So in this context, how it's going to work, we have designed the system in such a way that, like for instance, we have a pool of what we're calling Forex service providers. So these Forex service providers will buy the local currency. Let's say they'll buy enough Zambian kwacha from Zambia, and the same Forex currency providers also buy, let's say, maybe enough Malawi kwacha. If one wants to make a payment, they will be transacting with the same Zambia kwacha, the same value. So they will buy like enough, maybe they will know, maybe, I'll just give an example, maybe Zambia and Malawi, they know that maybe in terms of trade, maybe we deal with 20 billion Zambian kwacha, that's what we need. So they'll buy that in advance. So by doing so, that means they have circumvented the use of the dollar. Yeah, so that's how we're gonna do it. But by the end of the day, there will be these Forex providers providing the required local currency amount. So what we're also trying to do is to not to put the risk on the central banks, like Reserve Bank of Malawi. We will not have like the risk to say maybe any Forex risk or any exchange risk.
When is it expected to start, and how far have we done with the project?
So at the moment, we are evaluating the system implementers. Most of them are from UK and US. In terms of commencement, we are looking at November this year, all things being equal. So by November we should start, and most likely also countries like Malawi and Zambia, who are in the same corridor, are the ones to start, because we had already done a proof of concept to see if it is indeed viable that this thing will work. But it has already worked, like in countries like Singapore. They are already doing such type of cross-border transactions. So we are looking at November. If we may delay, probably we may go up to maybe somewhere December or January next year. But by November, that's our target date. Actually, we are specifically looking at 17th of November. And the actual works themselves, they will commence on 1st of July. Yes.
I understand something of a similar nature was implemented in ECOWAS. Have we drawn any lessons from there? Is it effective that side?
That side, there are a bit of challenges in the sense that, of course, the problem was on the design of like what I'm talking about, the use of the local currency, the Forex engine. So the Forex engine was not properly designed. So that's also one of the challenges that they are facing. And that's also another thing. As COMESA, we had to make sure that we do this bit correctly, to make sure that at least within the COMESA, people can use their local currencies. But if you want to buy something outside of COMESA, let's say maybe in Nigeria, obviously, you have to look for the US dollar and then make your transaction.
Will countries be required to pay a subscription to participate or to use the platform?
Yeah, so a very minimal fee for the national switches, but a very, very minimal fee, unlike probably what they are paying as of now. It will just be what we are calling a joining fee and an annual fee, but it will be very minimal because the project we are being funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates, and our aim is just to enhance digital financial inclusion, just to make sure that everyone is digitally financially included, but also want to make as much as possible to ensure that people are not using cash. So people should migrate from the cash and go into the cashless regime. Just like even the developments that are happening now, like let's say with the Greater Macra, today they have put like a framework to say maybe people should stop using scratch card. So again, the same thing also is what we're trying to do so that we go into the digital platforms. So we're spending about 10 million US dollars. That's what we're spending to put up the infrastructure. So $10 million will help us to finalize everything. Of course, as of now, we've already spent a substantial amount of money already, close to around $30 million, but $7 million will finalize everything. And we are looking at starting with 8 countries in the COMESA region. So there's Zambia, Malawi, and these are the ones in the same trading corridor. Then for the East Africa trading corridor, we have Rwanda, Kenya, and Uganda. North Africa, we have Egypt and Ethiopia. And then we also had to pick another country isolated for a start, Mauritius, which is an island country. So we'll start with 8 countries, and then we'll go add another 7 next year, and then finalize all the 21 COMESA countries.
Now, in other business news, law firm Keller Farms has invested 20 million kwacha in production of dried fruits in the country in a quest to enhance import substitution. The company's chief executive officer, Kandi Kulisewa, says the company is further exploring foreign markets to start exporting the commodity. She caught up with our journalist, Kumwembe Mangazi.
Kale Farms is about healthy living. We are trying to promote nutritious foods on the market. When we go on the market, the Malawian market, I would say 90% of the dry fruits that you see are imported. So Kale Farms is trying to come in to reverse that situation where we should start seeing our own Malawian products on the market instead of these imported products. We are currently producing 6 products. We have dry pineapples, we have dry mangoes, we have some confectionaries where we have banana crisps, we have plantain crisps in 3 flavors. We have chili, for those that like chili stuff. We have sorted. Then we have a naturally delicious flavor, which is sweet, for maybe those people, for the kids, and those people that like sweet stuff. Our products, I guarantee you, are 100% free of additives. They are natural. So from the farm, we process, we are not even using any preservative. The only maybe additive that we are having is the chili, for the chili flavored plantain crisp, but the rest of it, there are no additives. So they are guaranteed that we have something as natural as you get from the real fruit. As I indicated, it was always, I had mixed feelings when I get into the shops and all I'm seeing are imported products, knowing how tasty and nutritious our own fruits or food is. So as time went by, we said, okay, let's try to do this on a small scale and see what the response is going to be like. So we started dealing with friends, family, for them to test and give us feedback.
From there, then we started taking them to work, share with colleagues. They buy and give you feedback, and some of them even encouraged us, no, you don't have to do this on this scale. Can you try to up your game and you go into the shops? So then we went to the bureau to get certification. After the certification, we started now getting into the supermarkets. This venture is running around 20 million kwacha, I would say. Yeah. At the moment, we are working with over 3,000 farmers. As I said, we have 4 value chains, because we have the pineapple, we have the mango, we have the banana, as in a normal banana, then we have the plantain. I know a lot of people clarify everything as a banana snack, but we have the plantain, we have the real banana, the normal banana that we use, and there you have maybe over 1,000 farmers on the pineapple side. You have another 1,000 maybe along the mango. For the other products out like the mango and plantain or banana, there is not much formality, I would say. The pineapples, at least we have some cooperatives that you can just drive and say, okay, I'm meeting these farmers at once. But for the others, no. So we sometimes even have to engage vendors so that we at least get what we want. Yeah. So in terms of figures, well, it may be over 3,000 farmers. As you can see, this is something that needs very heavy investment. But that didn't deter us. We still had to venture into it with our baby steps. We'll go and grow along the way. The second thing is transportation. As I mentioned, we are getting these fruits as far as Mulanje, Chitipa for the plantains, Nkatabe for the plantains. So for us to get the fresh fruit from there to us in Lilongwe, it is not easy. Sometimes you're using local transport and you have a mechanical fault. 4 days on the road. By the time the bananas are getting to you, they are wasted. So that is also another challenge. Another challenge is the power. Sometimes power is inconsistent. You may put your fruits in the machine and then power goes off. We all know there are times when we have extended load sheddings. That is also another problem. But we do have some backup solutions. We sometimes have to drive ourselves as far as Nkatabe to get the fruits. Or for the electricity, we have some backup generators that we just cover for the specific times when the power is off. All right, now that we have managed to get ourselves on the market to compete with the imported products, we are also looking at the export market. We had the Malawi Investment Trade Center take our products to Doha for an expo there. And we know there was a lot of very good feedback. We have had some diplomats that are working here looking for taking our products as far as the US, the UK, Europe. So we are at the moment trying to find our way deep into the export market. For we know the potential is already there. What just remains is to have some contracts with the external markets and then we start exporting.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time magazine, in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Thanks for watching and bye for now.